Tonight's game, a must-win for the Milwaukee Brewers as they look to keep their postseason run alive. We'll have a live report from Miller Park.
And new information in the search for Wisconsin team Jamie Kloss. The 911 log from the night she went missing is released.
And the candidates for governor are squaring off tonight for the first time before next month's election. What you can expect from tonight's debate.
This is News 3 at 6.
Thanks for joining us. First pitch, Game 6 of the National League Championship Series, now about 90 minutes away.
And for the Brewers, it is win or go home. News 3's Adam Duxter joins us from Miller Park with how fans are approaching this game and why one in particular won't be able to watch. Adam?
Well, Eric and Charlotte, I think it's a bit of an understatement to say that fans will be glued to the television tonight, taking in Brewers and Dodgers Game 6 of the NLCS. And so much is at stake. A victory tonight could put the Brewers just one win away from their first World Series appearance in over 30 years. And a loss tonight sends them home for the season. And despite one fan I talked to's today's best efforts, he will not be able to watch the game tonight, but for a good reason. He's getting married. Now, Ricardo Ayala, I talked to him earlier today, and he said he's excited to begin the rest of his life with the person he loves, but admittedly, he's a little bummed about not being able to watch his Brewers or Bucks play tonight.
There is a couple TVs in my hall. I asked the future wife if she could, maybe turn one on, so I'll ask her again. We'll see if she gives me a yes.
Ayala says he always makes it a point to go to every Bucks home opener, and of course, that's tonight as well. And I had a little bit of fun with him. I asked the question that's on all of our minds. Would you rather have a long, loving, lasting marriage or a World Series victory and NBA Finals appearance? His response, no comment. A smart man indeed, Eric and Charlotte.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens. Adam Duxter reporting tonight. Adam, thank you. Our coverage of the Milwaukee Brewers is just getting started. We will head back to Miller Park to check in with sports anchor Melissa Kim in just a few minutes.
All right, it's homecoming weekend here in Madison on campus and a chilly weekend on tap. Once again, we turn to Chief Meteorologist Gary Canalti in the Weather Center. Gary?
And temperatures today were in the 50s, not too bad, but it'll be much cooler for tomorrow and for Sunday as well. Visible cloud track shows we had plenty of clouds today. We had some showers to start the day this morning. Those showers, though, have pushed into Michigan. To our north and west, a couple of showers starting to show up in the Arrowhead of Minnesota. So those drop southeastward. We'll look for the possibility for a couple of showers by tomorrow morning, and those could even be mixed with a couple of flakes of snow. Now, this morning, way too warm for that. 48 was the overnight low temperature in Madison. Cloud cover had a lot to do with that. High temperatures so far today have been in the middle 50s here in the Madison area. Out west, there's been a little more sunshine, and the sunshine just starting to get into the Madison area. And temperatures out there have been in the upper 50s to around 60. You can see temperatures still in the lower 60s as nearby as La Crosse, but those winds are shifting from the southwest to a northwesterly direction as a cold front starts to move through. And by tomorrow morning, temperatures will be in the upper 30s. Again, those rain showers could mix with a few flurries of snow. Tomorrow will be a blustery and cold day with high temperatures only in the middle 40s. That's your first alert forecast.
Gary, thank you. Dispatch logs show several shots were fired at the Barron home where a missing Wisconsin teen lived with their parents. Officers were responding to a 911 call at the home early Monday when they discovered two people dead inside. The call log indicates the call came from a phone belonging to the mother, Denise Kloss. She and her husband, James, were found shot to death. Police say their daughter, 13-year-old Jamie Kloss, was likely home when the murders happened, but was not there when officers arrived. They believe she is in danger. They say she's not a suspect in her parents' death. Investigators are looking into more than 1,000 tips in their search for Jamie Kloss.
A Walworth County deputy is on administrative leave following an officer-involved shooting. A deputy shot and killed a man in Elkhorn last night. The deputy was involved in a chase and tried to stop the man from driving recklessly several times. During one of the stop attempts, the driver allegedly drove toward the deputy, who then shot him. An attorney for a woman accusing suspended Badger football player Quintez Cephas of sexual assault is publicly addressing the case. In a letter, the victim's lawyer, Lester Pines, tells us Cephas's claims that the victim's father is a racist are false. Cephas filed a lawsuit against University of Wisconsin officials earlier in October, claiming his rights were violated during the university's investigation into the alleged sexual assaults. Cephas said officials were pressured to speed up the investigation by a victim's father because he is a donor and UW-Madison alum. Cephas is accused of sexually assaulting 2 women. The UW wide receiver was suspended indefinitely from the team. He is set to stand trial next year.
Former President Barack Obama is coming to Wisconsin next week, campaigning for Tony Evers, U.S. Senator Tammy Baldwin, and other Democratic candidates. The Democratic Party of Wisconsin says he will travel to Milwaukee next Friday, October 26th. President Trump will also be in Wisconsin next week, holding a rally near Wausau on Wednesday. A major new development today in next spring's race for Madison mayor. Current Mayor Paul Soglin has reversed course. He says he's back in it. Keely Arthur joins us in the News Center with the very latest. Keely?
And then there were 8. In July, Paul Soglin told us he would not rerun for election. At the time, he was running a now failed campaign for Wisconsin governor. But since then, things have changed. Soglin made the announcement early this morning. In a news release and video, he touted his achievements since returning to office in 2011. He says there's been a $5 billion increase in the city's tax base since 2012, and that 20,000 jobs were created since the end of 2010.
The city's financial health is fundamental to our ability to close gaps in housing, education, and opportunity. Because of cuts on the state level, we must rely on a growing tax base to fund and fuel services.
He also talked about his plans for next term, which includes combating ice and flood prevention. The primary for the mayor's race is February 19th. The general election is April 2nd. And we have a full list of the candidates up on our website, channel3000.com, where you can hear more from them.
All right, Keely Arthur in our News Center. Keely, thank you. Candidates for governor will battle it out tonight over key issues like health care and education.
Tonight marks the first of 2 debates for Governor Scott Walker and State Superintendent Tony Evers. Rose Schmidt is here to tell us what we should watch out for tonight.
Well, the debate starts at 8 o'clock, so just a few hours away. And Governor Walker and Tony Evers are both promising to fund schools 2/3 of the total costs. But we can expect to see them question each other's plans to do that and where the money will come from. Another key issue, health care. The candidates will likely question each other's plans to make sure people with pre-existing conditions are guaranteed health care coverage. A political rhetoric expert is encouraging people to pay attention to what the candidates say tonight, but to remember that they've really been coached about how they're saying it.
For a voter who maybe isn't sure who they want to vote for yet, I think they're going to watch the debates. They're going to see the candidates emerge over the course of the debates. And I think they really could make a decision based on how the candidates talk and what they say.
Governor Walker has successfully campaigned multiple times before, so Sarah says voters already have expectations about what he'll say and do, whereas Tony Evers is more of a newcomer to debates like this, so he has a bit more freedom. During tonight's debate, we also may hear about allegations Walker made today that Evers plagiarized material in the state budget request submitted by the education department that he runs. Evers said in a statement that the documents should have used proper citations and that the protocols will be changed going forward.
All right, Rose, thank you very much.
Thanks, Rose. Downtown Sun Prairie plans to reopen tomorrow following this summer's deadly gas explosion. The city hosting its annual Fall Festival this weekend. It is the first major event since the explosion in July. From 4 until 9 tomorrow, the community is encouraged to come together for a Downtown is Open celebration and fundraiser. The festival is free, and money raised through financial sponsorships and beer sales will be donated to the Sun Prairie Disaster Relief Fund and the downtown beautification efforts. The sequel to the popular Making a Murderer documentary series is set to premiere tonight on Netflix. The first series recounted the story of Stephen Avery and his nephew Brendan Dassey, who were convicted of the 2005 murder of photographer Teresa Halbach. The two are serving life sentences. Avery insists police framed him. Dassey has argued detectives coerced a confession out of him. Making a Murderer 2 follows the story of their appeals.
We are getting ready to celebrate homecoming Badger style.
And as we get deeper into fall, we're hitting the peak season for car deer crashes. How to avoid these costly collisions. Next at 6. Welcome back. October and November are peak times for crashes involving deer.
In Wisconsin, more than 20,000 of these crashes were reported in 2016. And as Jamie Perez found out, the cost to fix your car after these crashes is increasing.
Damage can be pretty severe from a deer hit.
No one wants their car to look like this or this.
You can see some pretty obvious damage here. The front bumper cover is torn. The grill is actually, half of it is missing.
All this damage came from hitting deer.
The grill is still on. The front bumper cover is still on. There is damage to the AC condenser here.
The average cost to fix your car after this is upwards of $3 grand. This car specifically.
It's about $3,800.
Lucas Hancock says the price raises as time goes on from advances in car technology.
It's a lot more safety equipment. We have, sensors in the front end of vehicles that can often be damaged when we do hit a deer.
And this?
It just happens so fast.
Is all too common this time of year.
A lot of similar stories.
Those stories of it just came out of nowhere. Well, here's what you can do and what not to do.
Firmly braking, maybe blow your horn, but definitely do not want to swerve.
Lucas is an expert at this by now and says no one should assume this can't happen to them. Not even Lucas.
My experience is the same.
This is just one example of what can happen in a deer hit accident.
The deer could even get lodged in your vehicle.
Yeah, we don't have video of that, but you get the idea. Pay attention on the roads, stay alert, stay cautious this deer lurking season. In Madison, Jamie Perez, WISC News 3.
More information and safety tips on avoiding deer hits this season can be found on our website at channel3000.com.
It is a must-win for the Milwaukee Brewers Game 6 of the National League Championship Series.
We'll go live to Miller Park for a live preview of tonight's game a little later in sports.
In weather, after a cold front comes through tonight and brings us a chance for a shower or even a flurry tomorrow morning, looks like a chilly weekend is on the way. I'll have your first alert forecast in just a few minutes.
Well, alumni and fans are back in Madison tonight, getting ready for tomorrow's homecoming game against the University of Illinois. This is a live look right now. The homecoming parade getting ready to start. This is at Langdon and Wisconsin. Kickoff for tomorrow's homecoming game with the Fighting Illini at Camp Randall Stadium set for 11 a.m. And of course, there's another homecoming tradition also going on right now.
It is Fill the Hill Day. The Alumni Association now plants a flamingo for every donation made to the university. This tradition goes back to a prank pulled by a student group in 1979.
Chief Meteorologist Gary Canalti keeping an eye on our weather for the weekend. Might want to bundle up a little bit if you're heading to Camp Randall tomorrow, Gary.
You might want to bundle up a lot. It's going to be pretty chilly. Temperatures will be in the 40s. There'll also be a brisk wind blowing, too, and that'll make it feel even cooler. Let's start out by taking a look at the Badger forecast. Kickoff tomorrow at 11 a.m. against Illinois. And well, I think the Badger football team should do well. A few flurries and sprinkles can't be ruled out for the crowd, and that will make it windy and cold. Temperatures hovering in the lower 40s for much of the game, so can't rule that out. Now, I'm making the assumption, this Cubs fan is making the assumption the Brewers are going to win tonight. And then tomorrow, that big Game 7 will be at Miller Park. And if you're planning on going to that game and doing a little tailgating, it's going to be cold. Temperatures will be around 40 degrees just before the start of the game. I believe it's right around 8 o'clock tomorrow night. But by the end of the game, temperatures will be in the middle 30s, so very chilly just in the Milwaukee area. Temperature trend over the last 24 hours, you can see our temperatures mainly in the upper 40s to the middle 50s. Haven't seen much temperature movement. Yesterday, we had a beautiful day. The time lapse from the Queen Bee Radio Skycam in Platteville showed clear skies for the entire day today. A little different story today. Let's take a look at the Queen Bee Radio Skycam in Platteville, and you can see skies have started to clear out a little bit. Still partly cloudy there. They've had some sunshine over the last couple of hours. The WISC Skycam showing a little bit of clearing overhead, mostly cloudy skies around there. And the Edgewater Skycam looking to the southeast shows mostly cloudy skies away from the Capitol in Madison. 55 the high temperature for today, the low temperature of 48, and right now we're at 55 with a southwesterly wind at 9 miles per hour, but winds will shift around to the west and northwest later on tonight, and that'll start to bring in cooler weather. Now, there is a meteor shower especially for tomorrow night and Sunday night. The oriented meteor shower. You could see up to 20 meteors per hour. Visibility should be very good. I'm looking for clear skies both nights. It'll be rather chilly, but the only downside is that the moon will be presenting some light problems and making it a little less easy to see some of those meteors. Low temperatures this morning were pretty mild, generally upper 40s to lower 50s. Current temperatures are in the 50s to a few spots in the lower 60s over western Wisconsin, but you can see on Weather Track there is some clearing to the west of us, but then that jet stream to our north and west starts coming in back from Canada, and that will start bringing in colder weather. There's a bank of clouds moving into northwestern Minnesota along with a couple of sprinkles of rain. One cold front is just to our north and west. The second one poised to drop southeastward near the U.S.-Canadian border. That's what will bring us the shower chance for tomorrow. So temperatures are in the 50s here. They drop to the 40s behind the first front, and then are in the 30s behind that second front. And on Future Track, you can see how we have some clearing tonight, then a chance for some showers, maybe even a couple of flurries tomorrow morning before we clear out for tomorrow afternoon. And then with tomorrow night, with clear skies and light winds, temperatures will tumble into the middle 20s. Our forecast for tonight calls for skies to become clear. It'll be colder with a low of 38, and then by tomorrow morning, clouds will move back, and there's a slight chance for a rain shower. Tomorrow, a chance for a shower or flurry in the morning, then partly sunny, windy, and chilly for the rest of the day with highs in the mid-40s. On Future Track, you can see that chance for showers and a few flurries early tomorrow morning, and then we clear out tomorrow afternoon. Tomorrow night should be clear and cold with temperatures dropping to the mid-20s, and on Sunday, high temperatures will be in the upper 40s. As we look at the 7 to 10-day forecast, temperatures remain just a couple degrees below normal for next week. Highs generally low to mid-50s. There'll be some rain chances toward the end of the week, maybe mixed with a few flurries by the weekend.
It's an elimination game for the Milwaukee Brewers tonight. Game 6 of the National League Championship Series. The Los Angeles Dodgers lead the Brewers 3-2, so the Brewers must win to force a Game 7 tomorrow night. Let's go live to Miller Park in Milwaukee, where Melissa Kim joins us. Hi, Melissa.
Yeah, hey there, Jay. The Brewers, with their backs up against the wall here tonight, really having to force a Game 7 in order to stay alive in the postseason. Now, that Game 7 would be here at Miller Park tomorrow night. So Craig Counsell using some strategy here tonight in his lineup by making some changes to the batting order, switching it up a bit, moving Jesus Aguilar down, having Travis Shaw bat in the cleanup spot, hoping that this will challenge Dodger starter Hyunjin Ryu. Now, Counsell also hoping that home field advantage and this Miller Park crowd will help the Brewers out tonight as well.
I thought we had trouble doing at Dodger Stadium is that we just didn't, we were unable to put a lot of pressure on them, on their pitching. And, hopefully that's something that the crowd can help with, as we get rallies going that we can, that can add to the pressure. So I think, if anything, the home crowd, I think, doesn't make you more nervous. It helps you out.
Now, to give you an idea of how close this series has been coming into this Game 6, these two teams each have 16 runs each. The only difference here is that the Dodgers have 38 hits, the Brewers 39. So expecting another close game here tonight, Jay.
That's Melissa Kim live at Miller Park. By the way, first pitch for Game 7 has been moved up an hour to 7:09 p.m. tomorrow if there is a Game 7. It is homecoming weekend for Badger football. Illinois plays at Camp Randall tomorrow morning at 11. Before the season started, the Badgers' offensive line was touted as the best in the country. Doesn't seem like they played up to that so far. Michael Dieter admits the line probably hasn't met all of its lofty goals, but at the same time, they haven't been awful.
I'm not going to sit here and act like the sky is falling and we're way off all the time. But we need to get better. That's definitely, we can clean some stuff up. And we have played a lot together, so that's got to be there. But it's a week-by-week thing. The calls change each week. You get different looks, so you work it throughout the week, and then you need it to be there Saturday.
Big volleyball match at the UW Fieldhouse tonight. 8th-ranked Wisconsin welcomes 5th-ranked Nebraska to town for an 8 o'clock first serve. The Badgers also host Iowa Sunday at the Fieldhouse. There's also women's hockey at LeBron Arena tonight. Princeton plays Mark Johnson's Badgers, and tonight and tomorrow at noon. The Badger men's hockey team has already started its weekend out east. Tony Granado's club just started its game at Clarkson. The Golden Knights just took a 1-0 lead. The Badgers are at St. Lawrence tomorrow night. And Jerry Kelly is trying to win the PGA Tour Champions Charles Schwab Cup. The 3-week playoffs started today. Kelly's been battling a sore elbow. He goes even par in the first round of the Dominion Energy Classic. That's tied for 34th. Kelly starts the playoffs in 3rd place in the Schwab Cup standings. The winner of the Charles Schwab Cup gets a $1 million bonus. Tonight is the first round of the WIA football playoffs. Kevin's going to have Prep Mania for us tonight.
Lots going on, and for the Brewers, they just got to get those bats going, huh?
Got to win. It's simple as that.
Got to win. You got to score some runs. Weather-wise, they're indoors, thankfully, over there, but it's going to be cool this weekend.
Yeah, tomorrow will be even chillier. So right now, no rain around southern Wisconsin. Looks like any showers will hold off until early tomorrow morning. There could be a few flakes of snow mixed in with them. Right now, temperature is pretty comfortable if you're going out to a high school football game. Mid-50s right now. By tomorrow morning, down into the upper 30s, mid-40s for highs tomorrow, upper 40s on Sunday, and then 50s for much of next week with some rain chances toward the end of the week.
All right, Gary, thank you very much. Folks, thanks for joining us tonight for News 3 at 6.
Have a great evening, and we'll see you back here at 10.
Download the new Channel 3000 app and get alerted on your mobile device the minute news breaks. Wherever you go, be the first to know with Channel 3000.